Hi everyone, David Bromshinkle here, and today I wanted to share with you my all-time favorite beaver style bait modification to not only keep a little bit of money in your wallet, but also to catch you a few more fish. Now, the beaver style bait is probably my all-time favorite negative mood, cold water jig trailer. You know, those times when those fish don't want the wild flapping action of like a rage craw or some sort of other creature style bait. So what most people will do is they'll go to their tackle store or online and they'll get their favorite 3/8 to 3/4 ounce jig. They'll go over to the soft plastic aisle, pick out their favorite standard size beaver style bait for a trailer. Standard size being 4 to 4.5 inches depending on the manufacturer. This one actually is one that I pour out of a Angling AI Stinger mold. It's 4 inches in length. So they'll go to the lake, tie this jig on, take the trailer, this beaver here, thread it on said beaver onto said jig. And what they have is a fish catching machine. Now and it works. But there are times where this profile, it might not have all the wild action or anything like that, but it's still to a negative mood fish or a cold water fish, or maybe someplace where the forage base doesn't get this big, it's a little much. So, no problem. We'll just go back to the tackle store. We'll get our favorite finesse jig. It doesn't matter the brand. This happens to be a Strike King Bitsy flip jig in 1/4 ounce. And what most people will do is they'll go spend some more money on some more beaver style baits. But in a smaller size, 3 to 3.5 inch, depending on the manufacturer. This happens to be a Missile Baits Baby D-Bomb. And then they'll thread it on there, and it'll look actually pretty good yet, you know? And that works. But this is where stretching your dollar amount goes. Now, I got 4 kids. So I'm looking to save any amount of money I can, wherever I can. So I'm going to try to figure out a way to make my collection of 4-inch beavers here work for not only a full skirted jig or full size jig, but also a little tiny finesse jig. Now, if I were to thread this on here, that would look pretty stupid in my book. You know, it's very unproportionate. But we can fix that. And that's why I love this Angling AI Stinger that I pour. Because it just has all the attributes of being able to modify it. So what I like to do is I'll take my scissors, I'll come up here to right in front of these front tentacles here, snip, cut, oop, no, a clean cut. Cut that off, clean off. We're gone. That part's garbage. And you could thread it on there, and it would work. But the thing is, there's a lot of plastic that's still on the side here. You know, so it's not going to look quite right. So what I then do is I go in between these first and second tentacles. And I'll just kind of quarter it off, I guess you could say. Well, maybe not quite quarter off, but we'll just trim her up. Just trim her up. So we got a nice little point there. Now what we got is we can take that trailer, or that beaver now, and thread it on our smaller jig, like so. And voila. That looks pretty proportionate and it looks good. I've caught fish doing it like that. Now I can And now to another point of what I love about this beaver is the tail. I can leave it flapping like that all together, or I can split it apart. So now I got a little bit more action. If I want, and it looks good. I'm kind of doing it that way. Or if I want say the water is warming up a little bit, or the fish are getting a little bit more active, I can take these tentacles and peel them away from the claw. And now I got a lot more action, a lot more free flowing action here. If you don't like these little tentacle thingies, you maybe want to shorten up the bait a little bit more, or make it a little bit less profile. Just not a problem. Just take these ends off the flappers, and voila, you got a really neat looking jig trailer. That's how I'm able to stretch my money a little bit more. So now I don't have to go and buy, another 6 or 8 packs of a smaller size beaver to work on a smaller jig. I can take a 4.5 inch, trim her down, modify it a little bit, and it'll fit nicely on a smaller profile jig. It just works. So that's where the saving money part comes in. The getting more bites is when you go to the smaller profile. So there you have it. That's my favorite beaver style bait modification. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Hit that like, subscribe so you don't miss any of my fishing tips, my rod building, my soft plastic, pouring, tournament stuff, what have you. So, till then, we'll see you on the water.